As we wrap up this edition here of the Mass Steel Podcast, of course, yours truly, Charles Prodigy Richey, switch things over to the Pittsburgh Steelers side of things right now. And a lot going on right now, currently going on. Uh, as I just mentioned, the NFL, they announced their announcement of top picks. We'll get to that in a second. But Andrew Filipponi of 93.7 The Fan usually talks to Arf Mota, who's on their show quite frequently, either on the phone or in studio. He was saying in regards to if Bud Dupree can return to the Steelers next week. His answer was yes. Now remember, he did walk in free agency. Bud Dupree did 2 years ago, and where he signed with the Tennessee Titans and do a lot with the Pittsburgh Steelers due to their cap situation coming out of COVID right there, which is very significant. It was very unlikely that they're going to be able to keep him at that point in time. But when he went over to the Tennessee Titans, basically, I mean, right now, he signed a pretty good deal right there. It was a 5 year, $82.5 million contract with 16 signing bonus. 33.75 was guaranteed at signing with 35 million guaranteed unrestricted free agent in 2026 right there. And he currently has a dead contract right now with the Tennessee Titans at about 1.25 million, and which is very surprised right there. It he sounds like he's an unrestricted free agent from that term where he got released. But basically, when we look at yeah, he was released by the Tennessee Titans right there. I mean, basically, according to multiple reports, uh, Ian Rappaport reported this back on Monday, March 6th, that they're expected to release Dupree, the former ticket free agent signing who was due 17 million this season, more player turnover to reallocate resources as another veteran pass rusher hits the market. Dupree was signed to a sizable, like I said, $82.5 million deal right there. And to be honest, I mean, creating 9.35 million in financial flexibility, but they're going to be charged with a debt cap of 10.8 million this year, according to Spotrac. Uh, now they would now designated Dupree as post June 1st release will create additional savings, approximately 50.7 million, while spreading Dupree's debt cap charge of 10.5 million across 2023 2024. I would be real interested to that. Now, the only thing is right now, too, you already kind of got like chemistry going on with TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith. Now, Alex Highsmith has really been coming into his own right now, who actually had a career year in sacks, by the way, too. I mean, this guy, he has been, I mean, getting better and better each year at 14 and a half sacks this year, which was his total highest. I mean, prior to that, he had six in the previous season back in 2021 and two in his rookie season. Now, I mean, how would you be able to make room for a guy like Dupree on this? I mean, the only question is, I would presume more likely he'd be coming off the bench. Would he be keen to the idea of being a bench role? But at the same time, too, what I would like about this move, personally, if the Steelers were able to reunite with Bud Dupree, I think it provides depth needs. I mean, just in case, of course, TJ Watt does get hurt. Now, remember, I mean, TJ Watt, he did have a pec tear or a pec injury back during the first game of the regular season, which he didn't finally come back until the game against New Orleans Saints. I mean, and you got to look at it from that standpoint too. I mean, TJ Watt, I mean, he's gonna be banged up, and I would definitely feel like you know what, if you could sell the idea of Dupree, him more likely coming off the bench, I'm all for it. Because to be honest with you, I mean, him and Watt were especially a tandem right there. I'm not sure if I want to mess with that chemistry going on right now. I don't think it's going to turn out like a Melvin Ingram thing where he's going to be barking some noise like wanting more playing time. But again, Alex Highsmith right now, who's younger aspect, who will be let's see, he'll be turning 26 in August on August 7th. and versus a guy like Bud Dupree, who I mean, you have Alex Highsmith, who was a third round pick, past the top 100. Yeah, Bud Dupree, who's taken 22nd overall in the 2015 NFL draft that was held in Chicago right there. And the only problem is with Dupree right now, too, when you look at it, I mean, he's already turned 30 years old. So, question is, are you going to want to be paying a guy maybe like around, I mean, like 10.8, I think, million in like annual average salary? I mean, can you like do like 10, 12 million? I don't know. That's gonna be the decision right there. I mean, Omar Khan, well, if Art Rules has to make. I mean, of course, Andy Wild too. I mean, we're gonna see how this GM TAM works. But to be honest, with you, I'm open to a reunion. I mean, as long as I think it could provide some great depth needs right there. I mean, I highly doubt you're gonna have any locker room issues right there or bickering over playing time. I think that'll be just fine. But anyway, too, also Mark Valley of the Athletic, he wrote that appears that Omar Khan won't think twice about using the extra draft capital they have. They have 4 picks in the top 80, which includes two of the top 32 right there. And you look at the Pittsburgh Steelers right now. When you look at, according to Tank and Foul, remember everything's still pending with these compensatory picks being awarded right now. Here we go. So, according right now, as it stands, it'll be the 17th overall pick in the first round, and then it'll either be the 33rd or 32nd overall pick, which would be an additional first or top pick of the very second round, followed by 49 or 50th pick overall in the second round, and 80 or 81 in the third round pick, which is very damn good right there for this team, the position. Now you gotta think, having all that draft capital, I could definitely see where it could be used as leverage to move up. I doubt they would trade back, try to get some more picks. But at the same time, too, the Steelers historically, they have traded up 3 times in the draft. That was back in 2003 to select Troy Polamalu, 16th overall, strong safety. 2006, wide receiver Santonio Holmes, who's 25th overall. And then, of course, 4 years ago when they moved up 10 spots, I believe it was, to select at 10th overall inside linebacker Devin Bush, who many people's eyes seems like he's turning out to be a draft bust at this point. And right now, according to Khan, he says, I'd say all options are on the table, according to Khan. If there's a good football player and we have the opportunity to get him, if we could get him, we're going to get him. We love and think very highly of Cam, Khan said, regards to Cam Sutton. Conversations have commenced, and we'll see where it goes. Just like all of our other free agents, everything's on the table. I mean, we have a few guys that we obviously would prioritize. I'm not going to get into who's who, but I feel good about where we're at. We do like Cam a great deal. I think you guys know our history. We have a young up and coming player concept. We don't like to let those guys go. Now, right now, too, when you look at the current cap situation right now, I mean, with the Steelers right now, I mean, who's still got a ways to go. I mean, it's very much better position than what it was 2 years ago when they're about 34.5 million in the hole due to COVID right now. Their salary cap space has been coming pretty long right now, too, as it stands. They're only like 300, about 329,000 over the cap, which is cakewalk to get out of. I mean, really, I mean, they have a dead cap so far for this year, so far of over 8.52 million, and plus they maintained about over 4.42 million dollars, which rolled over into this year from last season. So I mean, that is very good right there. It's very doable. And this is where you'll see Omar Khan, his mastermind, coming to work right now on the financial side. The question is how he's going to follow up with what Kevin Colbert has done as their GM for at least the last 23 seasons right there. I mean, who's delivered 2 out of 3 Super Bowls right there and all the stuff that came with it. I mean, the guy has definitely had a masterful legacy. I mean, when you truly think about what he's meant to this team, I mean, It's definitely been the greatest times right there. I mean, and what they've been able to do. I mean, so he's definitely got some shoes to fill right now. Now they can add $32 million in cap space with full restructures of TJ Watt, Cam Hayward, Nick Fitzpatrick, James Dallas, and Johnson, all guys who will be on the roster 2003 anyway. Simplest way to do it, extend them. And that's where you see a lot of going on these days when it comes to like contracts and looking for cap release. You're trying to extend these contracts, push the cap hit layer down the world. Now, as far as the compensatory picks, real quickly, 16 teams right now have been awarded. The 49ers had a grand total of seven. And when you look at the 49ers right there, too, I mean, on top of all that, I mean, the 49ers, I mean, for the most part, I mean, this year, who've done a whale of a job. I mean, and you just continue to look at, like, admire everything what John Lynch and that organization has been doing together as a collective unit right now. Yeah, so they got right now they got 11 total picks. 11 picks in this year's draft right now uh for them. And that is a pretty good deal. All starting with the beginning of the third round. So they only have and they're all outside of the top 100. But I mean, at the same time, a lot of those picks that they got right now too. I mean, which usually these compensatory picks, they usually start in the third and they end around the fifth round or for the seventh round, third for the seventh round, excuse me. So third to the end of the draft. And you look at three of those seven right there, two basically they were due to assistant coaches and the GM who went to other teams. You look at the Jets head coach, Robert Saleh, right there. And of course, the Washington Commanders GM Mark Mayhew and Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniel right there. Each, I mean, like did wonderful jobs right there. And the succession for Mike McDaniel doing a real good job his first year, taking that team back to the playoffs, snapping a 6-year playoff drought, came very close to pulling off a ginormous upset over the Buffalo Bills due to circumstances too, especially without Tua right there. Now, in the meanwhile, too, the Browns, they're the only team in the AFC North that have a compensatory pick. I want to assume that's for Deshaun Watson. But speaking of Deshaun Watson right now, the Texans, they have been stripped of their fifth round pick and fined 175,000 due to a salary cap violation. And where the league determined that the Texans provided Deshaun Watson with an undisclosed compensation of 26,000 and the alternative athletic facility, which was known as the Houstonian, a luxury hotel that the Texans helped provide Watson membership. Now, a lot of ties to all these women allegations right there when he was going for these personal massage therapists, meeting with them, which also included the New York Times report veiled last summer that very same hotel they hosted women to give him massage appointments. Some women who were hosted at the Houstonian accused Watson of assault. And you look at too, I mean, just very disturbing right now that we gotta learn continue like hearing the story. I mean, this ain't gonna go away anytime soon. But I mean, you look at it overall as a mess, and you see why things are in the way they are right there, especially with a guy like Lamar Jackson, who I mentioned at the beginning of this podcast in the previous segment. Why he's probably not getting fully guaranteed money. I mean, they just don't want to set a trend for fully guaranteed contracts, especially at the quarterback. But then again, I think the thing that just adds more fuel to fire, all the allegations he had on top of, he's getting all this money guaranteed, and it's just that's all just bad business look. But that's going to do it for this edition here of the Men of Steel podcast. Next week, I will give you more breakdowns. We'll go into more positions the Steelers need to address right now, too. We'll start going into offensive linemen like tackles a little bit more further in depth. I'll try and give you like a mock draft by next Thursday. So I'm gonna have a Men of Steel podcast Mondays and Thursdays at 8:30 Central Time. I'm trying to aim for, and that's it. So once again, you guys can follow me on social media. You can follow me on Twitter at MassSteelCGR and on Instagram at MassSteelNation. And I will say this: one thing I am going to miss this year, no Franco Harris announcing the draft picks, especially in the second round. Want to know where he's going to miss? That's going to be one right there. All right, guys. Well, hey, have a great upcoming St. Patty's Day. And by the way, happy belated International Women's Day, which was yesterday. Just want to thank you for everything, all the pride, honor, respect, and perseverance you have all symbolic and we help make in our male lives too in this world. It is truly incredible the way you carry yourselves and just continue to share this moment and just thank you. And I want to just salute everybody we come across in their lives. Make sure you continue to send your love and continue to respect that. Charles Prodigy Richey signing off. Thank you for watching the Mass Steel podcast with your host, Charles Prodigy Richey, here on YouTube. Please make sure to hit that subscribe button. And for all the latest Mass Steel podcast episodes, feel free to download them on Mixcloud, Anchor.fm, and SoundCloud, wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, you blink, I'll cut your eyelids off. Don't you blink. I got you. Let's go.